Digital age, having a strong online presence is crucial for any business looking to succeed. However, with so much competition out there, it can be difficult to make a memorable first impression, let alone impressions after that, also. That's why I'm excited to have with me today Bonnie Dickson. She's a business visibility strategist and photographer. That was a mouthful. Bonnie's going to be sharing her expertise on how businesses can create a powerful digital first impression that sets them apart from the rest. So, whether you're just starting out or looking to improve your online presence, this episode is for you. So, stay tuned. So, welcome to the show, Bonnie. I'm so happy to have you with me today.
Thank you so much. I am very much looking forward to this conversation.
So, today we're talking about digital first impressions. Now, let's take a step back here because as business owners, there's so many different types of content, types of media we need to be using. There's written content. You can be doing videos. You can do audio only, and really today we're really talking about like just images. Is that what you're referring to with the digital first impression?
Yes, exactly. Today we're going to specifically talk about business imagery, the photographs and images that you're using to show your business online. So, for example, if somebody was to Google search your business before they get to your website and read all the juicy copy and messaging, before they see the videos on your social media channels, they're going to see a picture in a Google search. And that picture is what we're going to be talking about today.
Mm, okay, so that's news to me. Well, not news to me, but I didn't even think about it at that point of, when they find you on Google or another search engine, seeing that picture is the first one. Oh my gosh. Good to know. All right, we're done here. We're done. That's all the information we have for it. Okay, so wonderful. So where do we begin? When we're talking about that first impression, um, you know, a little bit more about why it's so important, and using it right from the get-go with our businesses versus again, we're talking like if you're starting out or if you've been in business a while, why it's so important from the very beginning instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna wait.
Yes, those are excellent questions. And the reason why it's important to think about your imagery for your visibility for your business right from the start is that a picture speaks 1,000 words. When you think of, walking in a bookstore and you see all the books on the shelf, if the cover looks interesting and it captures your attention, then you're going to read the title. Then you might actually pick it up and read the back to see what the book's all about. Same thing for your business. You think of brick and mortar businesses where you're driving down the street. If you see a cool sign on the outside of a building, you're like, wait, what was that? And you're interested because visually it captured your attention. Same thing when somebody is searching for your business online, they're going to search your business near me, and the first thing they're going to see are visuals. So that image needs to speak 1,000 words, be captivating, and capture their attention so that they want to click more.
So what can you give us some for instance of what's might be captivating versus, oh gosh, don't do this?
Absolutely. So, one of the great things about thinking about what imagery you're using specifically is that your business images also work for you while you sleep. And that's a great tip to take away from this is that they work for you 24 hours a day. They are online, they live there. So, when somebody searches for you, we'll use a chiropractor, for example. Let's say you woke up this morning, you've got a kink in your neck, and you think, oh gosh, I got to get through the day today. I need to find a chiropractor near me. So you Google search chiropractor near me, and two places come up. One has just the exterior of their building, the last time that the Google car drove past and took pictures. And we're entering into spring and warmer months now, but maybe it was just a winter scene, kind of cold and dreary looking. And that's it. They don't have any other pictures. And you think, well, this place open for business? What do they look like? What does their team look like? You're left having questions. and you never want your ideal customer to have questions. So you click on the second result. That chiropractor, also 5 minutes away from you, has that same street view from when the car drove past, but they also uploaded a couple of pictures, some of the interior of their reception area, some of the interior of their treatment rooms, and some images of their staff, the chiropractors and the people that would be working with you. And you think, well, gosh, they look friendly. And that looks like a bright, inviting place. So I want to go there. They're going to maybe help me take my pain away. Just by seeing that image, you already have all these ideas and you think, well, I want to read their website. Then you click and dive into it more. So by the second chiropractor using pictures that show what the experience would be like to work with them, that's how they've captured that attention. You don't want to use would be actually blurry cell phone review pictures. So let's say as a chiropractor, you didn't post any pictures, but your lovely clients did, but they're not so tech savvy. And so the pictures are blurry, it's a little dark. And so as a new person searching, I might look at that Google profile and say, well, it looks painful and not very high quality. I don't know that I want to go there. Chances are you're going to click away. So to summarize, you're going to want to use pictures that are bright, showing exactly what that experience, that people feel captivated and interested to read more about your business.
Well, and this seems very similar to real estate. When I think about when I just, oh, I have all the time to spare, and I'm like, oh, let's just see what's for sale in the area. And then you see the pictures that they post of the interior of messy kitchens, of family rooms that have toys strewn all over. They're like, how can you be posting pictures like this if you're trying to sell a house? And when we're trying to sell our business, I guess it's the same thing. Getting
Yes,
people to buy us, and if we look messy, if our kitchen is messy, it's not gonna have a good impression for people. Um,
absolutely. You're bang on with that example. And let's say you're a business coach and you post pictures on LinkedIn or your social media accounts of, hey, here's my business setup today, and you have a messy kitchen behind you.
mhm,
People are going to think, well, if they don't have the time or they don't take the time and effort to make sure that they're presenting themselves in a clean and professional way, then are they actually going to take the time to be professional with my business that I give them?
mhm.
And so do I want to spend my hard-earned money on that showing up, or do I want to look for somebody who's more presentable and professional? And so even with virtual backgrounds, like today I've got this kind of neutral background, uh, you know, moving around, all that kind of stuff, you want to make sure you show up as professional as you can.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say about pictures on your website, I did see something recently. Somebody asked me to look at their website they recently put together and give my thoughts on it. And the one picture, I couldn't believe that there was a messy table in front of them. I was like, this does not fit here. It's like, how could you have put that there? But yeah, I was like, he was asking my opinion. So, I was able to help him out before anything, really got out there. But it just surprised me that I would have thought that would have been noticeable right off the get-go of like, no, you wouldn't put that there. Let's talk a little bit about our branding, both personal and the business itself, and how to incorporate that into the images that we're using. When do we do it? When don't we do it?
Yes, that's a good question. I think that when we discuss branding, it's for businesses who are a little bit more established. Maybe they've already been running for a little while. And so, one way to incorporate your branding into your business images and photography would be, for example, in branding, you're going to have determined a color scheme. So, for me, a lot of the colors I use in my branding are teal blues, like teal green, that kind of color. And so, I'm going to make sure that in my business photography, anywhere that I'm showing my business specifically and not my client portfolios or client examples, I'm going to make sure I include teal in that branding. There was a business coach I was speaking with just last week, and she uses a lot of periwinkle and purple colors in her branding. So when she's on camera or in business photos showing up on the About page on her website or any social media posts, she's wearing just to help continue the continuity of brand within the imagery.
Oh, that's interesting that you say about wearing a brand color because I had a business coach in the past that said, you need your branding colors, but you don't have to show up in your brand colors. You don't, in fact, it was kind of like stated, like, don't show up in your brand colors. So, well, everybody's got a different opinion. Um, so we're all
No,
entitled to our opinions, but you are the visibility strategist. I mean, you spend hours every day working in this. So I'll take your thoughts on that. So
thank you.
thank you very
When it
much for
comes
that one.
Oh, my pleasure. When it comes to strategy, and you're right, we all have different experiences and opinions, and there are different theories behind what colors you should wear based on your skin tone, your personality, all of those sorts of things. But when it comes to brand continuity, if you're doing a brand specific photo session with a photographer, you should choose colors, whether you're wearing them or they're accessories in the background, things like that, so that you have that continuity and consistency of brand through your color scheme.
Okay. I'm just wondering, Bonnie, what your view is on stock photos versus using your own original imagery, as you were talking earlier about a website, for instance, and there are many places you can get stock images from. So when is it okay to use stock images, if it is, or should we just really say we're going to stop doing stock images and create our own?
I love this question. So the answer is stock imagery is okay when you're first starting out and you don't have a budget for your own professional photo session. Just make sure that the stock imagery that you're sourcing tells the story of your business, and it helps people understand when they see the image, what your business is about, and that it has a cohesive look to your brand. So similar color tones, like we were saying. Once your business is established more and you have more of an income and you have a budget for marketing, that's when you should work with a professional photographer so that you can create a custom stock catalog of your own business. Because we want to have stock photography. The idea of stock photography is they are images that already exist and they're ready to use whenever you need them. So when you're first starting out and you don't have the budget to work with a professional photographer, no problem. Stock photography that already exists online can be quite affordable and accessible. Once you have the budget to work with a professional, do it and create your own custom catalog of 20 images or so of your business that you can pull from for your marketing needs as you need to.
And I'm glad you said 20 because that was my next question. So like, what do we look? How many we looking here? But that sounds very doable. Although my next question, what if when all of us are working from home, so it's not like, oh, come on in, Bonnie, and let's shoot me working at home. What do you do in that case if you really kind of shy away from revealing what it really looks like?
Yes.
What do you recommend for someone to like, I hate to say, borrow somebody else's office to make it look uber professional or where do you go to take those types of images when you're working with a photographer such as yourself? And this
Yeah.
is just out of curiosity. Is how
No, every business owner I work with asks me this question, and that's the visibility strategy portion of it. Because there are so many really talented photographers out there that can take wonderful branding images. But really, it comes down to the strategy of capturing what does that experience look like working with you. So if somebody's working directly with you and you work from home, yes, you're going to want an image or two that shows what that experience is like. It doesn't have to be in your actual home. It can be an over version at a computer. It can be you on a neutral background at a computer. The point is we're showing you interacting virtually. So the background doesn't have to be exactly your office or exactly your living room or wherever you work from home in that space. The point is that we're capturing you and the action visually of what you're doing, which is working virtually. I work with a lot of business owners that don't have an office or physical location or brick and mortar store. Well, we can't possibly photograph every client's house that they go into. So instead, we create in our visibility strategy session while we're how many photos they need, where they're going to use. Like that's when we plan, okay, what are the locations that we need to use and what are the images we need to capture that will really accurately and authentically show your potential customer what it's like working with you.
And I bet you can really dig deep with your clients to find just those right locations. Yeah, because as I sit here thinking, like, oh my gosh, I don't have a clue, but that's your expertise, and that's why. If I was local to you, Bonnie, I'd be working with you. But Bonnie, this is. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. Do you have something you'd like to share with our audience so they can stay in touch with you and learn some more?
Yes, I do. And just to your last comment about working with me locally, I'd love to say that I love collaborating with other photographers. So if you have a local photographer you like to work with, awesome. Work with them to capture the pictures, and I can work with you remotely to design that visibility strategy so that your photographer knows exactly what they need to photograph and how many pictures you need. And then when you get them from the photographer, you actually know what to do with them because the strategy we break down, I tell you when to post them. You know, is it a Q3 thing? Is it a Q4? Is it on your LinkedIn? Is it on your website? And it takes all the guesswork out because one of the things I notice is a lot of people get images and then so if you're a business owner and you already have images you're using when you're not sure, are they strong digital first impression or not? I have my business first impression checklist. It's a free checklist. There's 5 amazing questions where you can ask yourself, you know, do I have a strong first impression? And I know we'll add the link there. For people who are listening, the link is news.bonniedickson.com/BFIC checklist, business first impression. And from there, these are 5 great questions for you to determine if your business first impression is capturing or repelling your ideal customer.
That sounds wonderful, Bonnie. Thank you for sharing that. I do have one last question for you, and this has, well, nothing to do with visibility and photography, but it has to do with you, Bonnie, and your business. And when you think to everything that you've learned in growing your own business, is there something that comes to mind that you look at and say, "Oh my gosh, that is what helped make it click in my business"? Is there something that comes to mind that, you would like to share with the audience?
Sure, I'll share a really quick story. So, I used to work in visual effects for feature film and animation for TV commercials and whatnot. And that's really where I learned and honed all of my technical skills and storytelling skills and photography skills. However, the visibility part that came about because I have a twin sister. And as a kid, I had to learn how to stand out and be seen as just me and not one of the girls. Now, I love my sister dearly and we get along really great and we've always been best friends. But as just you and not one of the twins. And so learning how to stand out and be seen for me and tell my story visually, sometimes with different hair colors or different clothing that I wore to make sure I looked different than her, so that teachers could tell us apart, friends could tell us apart. So that experience in my youth really helped translate once I got all the technical skills of artistry and photography, how to help business owners stand out. Because whether you're a mom and pop pizza shop with a unique family recipe and the puffy crust, or you're a chiropractor, you need to stand out from your competition.
So you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to visibility. Oh, thank you so much, Bonnie, for being my guest today on Make It Click.